Hi Sagittarius, welcome into your 2023 yearly tarot reading. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, for your amazing strong presence, but I do want to remind you, as always, this is general for your year, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I more than appreciate in advance the love and support in the form of likes for this video, comments down below, tell me how it resonates, what you're looking forward to the most for this year, and of course subscriptions to the channel if you haven't joined the Sagittarius tribe already. But I did pre-pull an overall, what is it, the Sacred Forest Oracle, okay, a card from that deck, to speak upon the overall energy for your year. And look at this, success. It is going to be an amazingly successful year for you where people are, I'm hearing astounded, okay? You standing up and doing what's right for you and potentially your loved ones, and just, it feels like at times it may feel just kind of routine or just expected from oneself in your own eyes, right? And even potentially other people's. But it's a year where you just buckle down and do what you have to do. But I want to say in more of a balanced way than you once would have, right? Giving oneself the time in a very respectful way to rest more, right? Taking a nap when you feel the need to in your downtime, implementing self-care. But when you do look to succeed at something, you do. Period. All right. And I feel like, okay, I'm now hearing moving up in the ranks. I feel like people are honoring you, people are respecting you, people expect you to get the job done, people expect you to even, I want to say, take care of them. And now they're expecting you even more so to take care of oneself. Beautiful. Good start. We're going to continue and pull for each quarter of the year. Naturally, 3 months for each quarter. And then we will further clarify with 2 other tarot decks, so 3 in total for each quarter. Let's pull from the, which one do we want to do? Let's do the Mystic Mondays first. And then we'll use the Light Seers and the Small Everyday Tarot. Okay, let's do some shuffling. Staying in your lane is what I'm hearing. Excuse me. It's whether you are staying in your lane throughout this year and that's benefiting you, okay? Or you're being recommended that will benefit you greatly. Don't get wrapped up with gossip, other people's annoying behavior or habits. But what do we have? Okay. There is part of you that's expecting the worst, but then I feel like that will be wiped away quite quickly. But we have the Chariot and Judgment. This feels right. So I do feel as if the first 3 months of the year, January, February, and March, do highlight the fact that you are quite motivated. It's this feeling that you're stepping out of, or have stepped out of 2022 and into the year of 2023, feeling a level of fire lit under your behind, or you're just feeling motivated to achieve more. You start to see things work out for you in the beginning stages of this year, naturally the first 3 months, to the point where you're on a roll, okay? You want more. It's this success that's coming to be for oneself where you're left feeling even more so hungry for more, okay? But I do feel like underneath it all, there is a focus on change, and you're being reminded throughout this year that you deserve the this 10 of Pentacles lifestyle, okay? A change in your finances. I want to say a change in how much success and honor you've been receiving within your career choice or choices, all right? And I do feel like it's a year to know your worth, all the meanwhile. But we also have the Judgment card. Bear with me as I grab something. But the Judgment card talking about the months of April, May, and June. And I really do feel as if these 3 months spark a level of honesty stemming from oneself towards other people and towards yourself, all right? What needs to change is what I'm hearing. What needs to change? It's this feeling that you potentially are releasing or feeling the release of one, if not several blockages throughout the month, where what felt stuck, oh, I did get this message for you earlier, what felt stuck in progression or just kind of went back and forth, right? In growth or success, progress. It's as if things just kind of, those blockages or that big one is released and things just start to flow in your favor, okay? It's almost as if your hard work is paying off throughout this year, this first half of the year as we speak upon it, but previous efforts as well, all right? It feels like a foundation for some of which, whether that's a job or a business, is working very much to your advantage, okay, in your favor. But I feel like your connection to the moon truly takes a highlight, especially in the first half of the year. But let's use the Light Seers deck and further clarify. What else do we have? Look at that, the Three of Pentacles. I really do feel like you're being noticed, and I feel like some of you are finding a level of attention in the romantic department taking a highlight as well in this first half of the year. Even though it feels like money, career is truly number one on the top of your priority list. But I feel like kind of intertwined in it, they're showing me a priority list, and then next to each priority, say it's money at the top and then career below it. Next to it is your loved ones. It's like you don't forget about working in their favor for their benefit side by side with yours, or you're working your job or running your business and then making money all the meanwhile, and they're on your mind occasionally, or it's you realizing that your loved ones are an absolute priority. Okay, but you just got to do what you got to do. Success is meant for you. You were meant for success. So we have your energy here. Okay, we're going to put this one over here and then this one over here. So I do feel like the months of January, February, March, first 3 months, naturally, you're motivated, and we have 2 movement cards, right? Moving at the speed of lightning at times, and then even when you're moving quite slowly, you're still successful. So Spirit's saying, think about it. Adapt to what's at hand task-wise, what you're trying to achieve, succeed at, and how you're feeling all the meanwhile, right? Or potentially more so in regards to who you're wrapped up with, who you're trying to help potentially, or you have to work with, right? This all could play into you needing to adjust your speed and how you go about doing what you have to do at hand, right? And so Spirit's saying naturally, whether you're moving slowly, quickly, or somewhere in the middle, you will succeed, okay? You will succeed. Now, I do feel like some of you find that in the first 3 months that you dig for that strength, that courage, that motivation to just go after a new situation, a new job potentially, a new living situation, some of you going after a new car, or even that new relationship, okay? And whatever it is for you, Spirit's saying, just trust your intuition and you will do well, okay? Or it will work out for you in the end, regardless of how long it's meant to last along your path, all right? But we move on to actually they want me to pull the small everyday tarot first before we speak upon it. What else do we have for January, February, March? Okay, the Eight of Wands. Naturally, look at that, fast moving. Okay, a lot of communication, and these 3 months taking things to the next level for you. But Spirit's saying, okay, keep your cool at times. When you're running around getting things accomplished, you have a lot on your plate, you're very passionate, and at times people can irritate you, or just certain outside factors, somebody's energy or the way they do something could rub you the wrong way at work and or at home. Just breathe, okay? You've got this. You've learned certain strategies at this point, if you remember for a hot second, on how to manage that feisty side of oneself, right? Channel it towards something productive. But they're saying flying towards what you deserve, but there's also a sense of you, okay, going on rants, telling stories, catching up with people. Just again, tread carefully or just cut out all the gossip when need be. But there's a sense of you attracting in what's meant for you all the meanwhile. So when you feel the motivation to go after, say, that perfect somebody for oneself, or decide to search for them right online, or whatever the case may be, or it could be a new job, it's like the universe is like meeting you halfway, right? Or just that opportunity is already on its way, kind of behind the scenes. It's been planned for you by Spirit, by the universe. And so your efforts will be sort of cut in half to acquire what's meant for you. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Look at that, the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. A true sense of victory, to say the least. And this feels rewarding all the meanwhile. Now let's pull for the second quarter, April, May, June, which, remember, we were talking about your honesty. Spirit saying there may be a situation that we're highlighting where you feel a bit boxed in, but I'm also getting doors illuminating for oneself, right? Seeing the way, seeing opportunities appear for you, or you just kind of stumble upon them. There's a sense of, in these 3 months, especially April, May, and June, you're in the right place at the right time, but a sense of patience, this being your energy. Temperance, you need to have that patience to do what you got to do at times, right? To have that overloaded plate schedule for oneself, but Spirit's saying, when opportunities arise, right? When somebody asks you to help them out or take something else on, be realistic, right? Can you handle it, or should you? Okay? How is it going to benefit you, or just is it going to alter the quality of something else you're working on or just trying to achieve? Or is it going to just simply deplete you all the meanwhile? Depletion is not an option, okay? But you're not an energizer bunny, that's what they're saying. So that plays into the honesty with oneself. But I do feel as if some of you, this is a very money and career kind of reading. I do feel as if some of you Sagittarius drawn to the reading find oneself being truly honest, as I just whistled, truly honest with people in your life, excuse me. Even if you stumble at times when you're getting that honesty out, it could be the honesty of Spirit, right? Their word coming through. It's almost as if you kind of are telling people what they need to hear, even if they don't want to hear it, right? But I think that at times in the months of April, May, and June, just think twice or 3 times before you speak something or tell somebody how you feel. It may not be the right time. It may not be meant to come from you specifically, or they just may be in the wrong mindset, okay, or way of being. So in that sense, as there is a lot of communicating in this first half of the year in general, just think about the audience or that person, the type of energy you're communicating with, and just the timing wrapped up in it all, right? And that will help you proceed or choose not to strategically. What else do we have for the second quarter? The Fool card. Yeah, I really do feel like there's a sense of freedom, even if you do feel a bit sort of locked down into all when it comes to obligations, your routines. I feel a true sense of productivity. And if you do find yourself traveling in the first half of the year in general, but being highlighted in April, May, and June, pack lightly. If you look at that imagery, pack lightly. But I do sense a bit of, if not a lot, of reflecting taking place in the second quarter in regards to past jumps, leaps towards what was meant for you, towards new beginnings, towards more success for oneself. And Spirit saying, didn't that feel refreshing? Right? Releasing oneself from that burden and opening oneself up to and moving towards what's more so meant for you, right? Whether that was, again, more love-oriented, work-related. I'm getting the vibe of some of which, drawn to the reading, moving from a job in the past or throughout this time to running their own business and getting that sense of freedom all the meanwhile, right? Being a very independent, kind of boss-like fire sign as a Sag, naturally you would make a good entrepreneur. But anyways, I just feel like as well, especially in April, May, and June, you find your connection to one, if not a few animals, or a specific type of animal being highlighted, okay? That can even be, I'm hearing the spiritual meaning, that can even be a way of Spirit communicating with you. But I sense that the first half of the year in general entails a lot of synchronicities, okay? Angel numbers, nature coming into play in that sense, animals once again, and you could even find Spirit communicating with you through your dreams and or your thoughts, okay? And what feels like certain coincidences at times, they're not, okay? They're not. Spirit's at work and wanting to make their presence known or just make something quite clear to you, even if it's already came through before, okay? They're saying repeating lesson or repeating informing taking place. And you may find that this is also playing into what you're meant to teach or inform somebody else. You could be very spiritual being drawn to this reading. I wouldn't be surprised. But I do feel as if there is one big surprise in this last part. I want to say especially June for the majority drawn to the reading. However that comes to be, it's going to be different from case to case. It's a bit, it kind of takes you back, right? It could be a good surprise, but for some of you, this may push you to make a change, right? Not being necessarily the best change that one would want to pop up. Either way, it's meant to be, okay? It's meant to be. But look at that, the Knight of Swords. It's the sense of you moving towards that victory, that success, and just what's meant for you. And again, somebody, okay, might tell you the truth is what I'm hearing, okay? Or you might just stumble upon the truth. Whether that's Spirit telling you the truth or that specific person telling it to you, I'm hearing from the grapevine, okay? But do check your facts before you, they're saying let loose or just make a specific change. Do your research, okay? Ask the source is what I'm getting, if it didn't come from them. But anyways, so that may be part of where that patience needs to come into play. I do feel like for some of you, there is a relationship switch up in one way, shape, or form. It could be a new commitment taking place. But I do feel as if change is the name of the game. All right, change is the name of the game. Hence why we will at times remind you of past change and how rewarding and refreshing that was, even if it didn't feel that way right off the bat. Okay, let the nerves be shaken off. Okay, and move towards what's meant for you. All right, or just balance things out as need be. All right, let's shift on to the second half of the year. Bear with me as I clear the board. I'm hearing it's good for you to catch your breath. Simplistic tasks, if I could even say it. I feel like that's also throughout the year feeling quite rewarding and potentially could play into your healing. I'm being shown somebody knitting or drawing, doodling, okay? And I do feel like stuff like that, even, I want to say moments of stillness. They're showing somebody on, not a raft, but like a floaty in a pool. And I feel as if stuff like that, that's going to feel so gratifying, okay? And it's going to push you to sort of take yourself away from the hustle and the bustle of your busy Sag life, okay? Let's continue, and they're saying reverse them. Did this for some of the other signs. Don't forget to check out your other placements within your chart, you know, for your money and career reads, but also for these yearly reads. I haven't posted all of them yet, but I will obviously eventually. But what do we have for the third quarter? Okay, the Hanged Man. And then, okay, some of you are getting a push in the months of July, August, and September to adjust your perspective on a specific somebody, or it could be more a living situation or a work situation that is not meant to last, okay? Or an action that you're not meant to take. Could be more than one of what I just mentioned. Yeah, oh, look at this. I'm not taking this because it's not meant for the last quarter, but it could be something that involves a level of chaos. You might find oneself at times realizing this, and then you kind of put back on your rose-tinted glasses, or you just try to convince oneself that it's not as bad as it is, okay, or as toxic as it is. Okay, the moon. They don't want this one either. Bear with me. What do we have for this last quarter? Okay, Five of Cups in reverse. Beautiful. Okay, so Spirit's saying with the Five of Cups that did fly onto the ground from the Mystic Mondays in the beginning of the reading, and I had mentioned part of you is expecting the worst, potentially when stepping into this year due to certain factors or just 2022. By the end of this year, you are expecting the best, okay? Or just, I feel as if potentially halfway through the year or just after one of the quarters, it's like this switch. It's like, okay, things are working out for me. I don't need to expect the worst anymore because things are working in my favor. And there's a sense of you in the second half of the year glowing, okay, glowing. There's a sense of you filling one's cup up so you can fill up other people's and succeed and just do what you have to do all the meanwhile. And feel as if Spirit's just extra proud of you, and so are your loved ones, okay? Let's, before we speak upon each quarter more so, let's, oh, look at that. Look at that. The Five of Wands and the Knight of Cups, okay? This could be a potential suitor, or it could be more so somebody you've been dating. Sense of conflict or just unhealthy habits wrapped up into it. I'm hearing how they treat you, or maybe how you treat them. Depends on the situation. We have the Hermit here. Beautiful. So naturally in the months of July, August, and September, you're finding oneself feeling quite comfortable in even initiating a lot of alone time, all right? But the Hermit card talking about how you're a leader. You could be pushing other people to adjust their perspective or just pushing somebody to move quicker on something, okay? But remember that everybody works at their own pace, all right? I'm going to take both of these for this last quarter. But I just feel like this is a time where you're being reminded as a Sagittarius, you naturally crave and move towards or just bring levels of freedom to be in your life in one way, shape, or form, or in multiple ways. So I feel like you're even giving off that energy to other people. I will not be boxed in. Okay, I will commit to what I feel I'm meant to, what brings me success and potentially benefits me and my loved ones, or just me individually, but I will not be boxed in. Okay, and I'm hearing you cannot force me. Okay, there's a very independent to oneself kind of vibe. Look at that. So maybe a highlight in regards to a sort of or fully trapped limiting situation for oneself. What else do we have for July, August, and September? But with the Hanged Man, I truly feel like you are being viewed as a true individual, okay? One who can't be swayed when they make up their mind. And if so, it's going to take a lot of work on their end. But I do, on the persuader's end, but I do feel like as well you're hanging from the tree of wisdom with that Hanged Man. And people just see you as very experienced, knowing what you're doing. And it's almost this vibe with some of you, it's like, just let me do my job, okay? Or just open up your ears because I have some important advice to give you, even if you don't put it to use, okay? I feel like you could be dealing with somebody who just listens to what you have to say, or just even other people all the meanwhile, and it goes out the other ear so quickly. I feel like that could be a family member or at work. But anyways, the High Priestess, because the months of July, August, and September are truly, truly intuitive for you, okay? Naturally, I feel like the year as a whole is very spiritual for you, and you could be going through a spiritual awakening. And I want to say very impressed by somebody else's spirituality or multiple people's and their abilities, potentially wrapped up into it all. But look at that. Again, the Six of Wands and the Judgment card flipped over, okay? So it's like you're riding towards more victory once again, right? Throughout the whole year, it feels like. But this could be when you decide to move towards taking that level of honesty with towards oneself, right, with you, and moving towards a new situation, or just towards, okay, I'm hearing a new promotion for some, or maybe towards more freedom in one way, shape, or form, the release of a situation, knowing, and they're saying in hopes of a new one coming to be replacing it, or maybe you don't need a replacement. It's going to differ from case to case. But it feels like the ball is in your court. It's a sense of you being the leader in a situation, and that's highlighted in these 3 months. But your intuition coming into play, because they're showing some like fireworks. It's like left and right. These 3 months, you're going to be getting intuitive hits in regards to what needs to change, what needs to stay the same, what's about to come to be. Could be in regards to clarification from the past. It's like you're starting to just see the way and understand things better for oneself. And this may play into why you feel very opinionated, very much inclined to give people advice in a lot of ways. They're saying especially when it comes to finances and connections. Interesting. Let's pull one for the last quarter. We also, okay, the Eight of Wands again. So naturally with the Five of Cups in reverse, again, you're expecting the worst. It's like you almost have so much on your plate and going on at this time, and things are changing, switching up for you for the better, that you almost don't even have the time or you just don't, to stop and focus on what's not working, okay, or and what frustrates you or once would have. And so Spirit's saying it's good that you're staying busy, but again, let's find that balance in it all. But I feel like somebody's watching you, okay, or you could be more so seeing there's a focus in this last quarter on who you feel the need to keep up with, watch, tune in, wondering what they're up to, okay? I feel like for some of you, there is a focus on spying, but I do feel like the possibilities are endless for you. Can you see the binoculars? That's what I was getting from that. But naturally, the infinity symbol reminding you to wrap up the year in these 3 months, that the possibilities are endless for you, okay? 1, 2, I'll get it done. That's what I just heard. 1, 2, I'll get it done. Naturally having a lot, Spirit saying to get done, make lists, okay? Write it down, prioritize. And I feel like you're going to find oneself quite effortlessly manifesting, okay? I was going to say multitasking for some, but you're effortlessly manifesting at this time. Very nice. It's the sense of you getting ready to wrap up the year. Again, doing a lot of communicating, people communicating with you, even if it's not back and forth, okay? It could be You feeling very connected to your people, I want to say, your soul tribe. You could be meeting a lot of new people in this part of the year or just the year as a whole. And that feels quite refreshing. It reminds you of the different types of energies that you bond well with, right? Being very versatile in that sense, wanting and just feeling comfortable with a diverse, excuse me, set of people in your life. Okay, who said you have to bond with the same type of person over and over, or have the same type of people? You get the point. But I feel like once again, it's like that motivation isn't gone. You just might find oneself implementing more self-care to wrap up the year while feeling quite busy. And it's a sense of you being reminded with that rose that you deserve the best kind of love in your life. You deserve that the success in your romantic life all the meanwhile, right? And you deserve to be wrapped up with multiple situations in your life that help you blossom and don't strip away from your personal growth and development all the meanwhile. Period. Okay, period. There's a sense of, with these doves here nicely coinciding with the Five of Cups in reverse, there's a sense of you having that hope restored in your life, right? In your vision for one's future and potentially for one, if not multiple people that you care deeply about. Okay, it's like, this is a year where finally or for the first time in a while, I'm seeing things work out in my favor for me individually, for my personal life, and for who I care the most about, right? There's a sense that Spirit's protecting, I want to say somebody who is very, very important to you, very special, but also I want to say more than one person that you're connected to, and you all the meanwhile, all right? It's the sense that it's a big mindset switch, big view switch up for oneself to wrap up the year, where it's like, again, the hope is restored, things are working out. You may find oneself wrapping up the year in October, November, December, feeling very creative and just Spirit's giving you ideas left and right through your thoughts, through random occurrences, being in specific places when you're meant to, so you can be inspired or just see the truth in a situation. And Spirit's saying, don't give up, but do allow for oneself to, again, balance things out, but write down that inspiration, write down the thoughts that you're being given or just come up with, okay? You may need to revisit it stepping into 2024, but I really do feel like the possibilities are endless for you at this time, Sag. And Spirit's reminding you as you wrap up the year with a restored level of hope and, I want to say, peace to an extent for oneself, right? It's a year where things are much, much more successful than 2022. And it's just a year that reminds you things are meant to work in your favor and your loved one's favors. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Don't forget to check out your other placements within your individual chart. Go enjoy your year, and I'll see you next time.